Welcome back, dear viewers. You're still watching Nile Cruise on Nile TV International on a very special victorious day that all Egypt is celebrating, dear viewers, on the day of Sinai liberation. And dear viewers, in this segment, of course, in a somber mood, Israel withdrew the last of its soldiers from the Sinai Peninsula, leaving the desert wilderness to Egypt as provided by the first treaty of peace between Israel and an Arab country. The turnover of the 7,500 square meter miles of territory, representing the last third of the peninsula under Israel control, was accomplished without a fanfare, as a reflection of Israel's sadness and disquietude. Shortly after dawn, a single Israel flag bearing a blue star of David against a white field was lowered at Sharm el-Sheikh, the southern outpost that commands the strategic approach to the Strait of Tiran and the Gulf of Aqaba. Severe hours later, the Egyptians raised their flag, the viewers, at Sharm el-Sheikh and Rafah on the Mediterranean coast near the chain link fence and marks the international border and divides the city. The withdrawal ended nearly 15 years of Israel control over the peninsula. And in this context, dear viewers, and to learn no more about Egypt's efforts to achieve the return of Sinai, we're honored to host Major General Dr. Ahmed Seliha, who will tell us more, dear viewers, and Dr. Ahmed Seliha is the best to tell us more about all of this, dear viewers. A very good day, sir, and it's a pleasure to have you.
My pleasure and honor, and fantastic prelude and introduction. And I have the honor and the privilege to speak in that channel, which is overwhelming Canada, I believe, and Australia, and the States and Europe. That's my yes. Greetings to all around the world and all over those countries who are going to listen to and watch us today. I have the honor and the privilege to be one who fought to restore our land and our Sinai, to get it back from the occupation after 7 years, and to be one who witnessed all the martyrs, which you're going to see. I have a page in my album for their pictures, the nobility, the idealistic features, the angelic expressions, how they were very desperate, and they were very idealistic to reach those dreams.
How significant were the Camp David Accords in 1978 to Egypt's eventual return of the Sinai Peninsula?
Of course, the shock when Sadat arrived to Tel Aviv, initiating the best ever during the war, after the first war, the second war, and after the Vietnam, which was led also by Henry Kissinger. He was orchestrating and demonstrating the Vietnam War end, and he orchestrated this too by his experience and a psychological load on Israel as an Israeli descent. So when the Camp David peace treaty approached the Middle East, it changed the whole power balance in the Middle East, and even among the Arab countries.
Perfect, sir. Sir, or what is your vision, or what vision did late President Anwar al-Sadat, of course, our hero, our hero on this very special day, of course, that we're celebrating, have for Egypt and the Middle East as well, that led to the Camp David Accords, and how was this received domestically and internationally?
We said that domestically it was rejected by the Ikhwan Muslim Brothers groups and the hardliners and the communist small groups, and generally it was accepted by the majority of the Egyptian people. And let me tell you something. Sadat and Nixon was parading in the streets of Cairo while millions received them from the airport till Qasr al-Qubba, about 10 kilometers in an open racape, openly among the Egyptian people. He could be assaulted by a knife, but that's the truth. And during it was the people in Hadaiq al-Qubba near the presidential palace where Nixon was going to dwell, stay. The point is, it was crowded on the bridge crossing the Nile to Kubri al-Ubba, and it was that's the image that the Egyptian majority accepted Camp David domestically.
Perfectly. And internationally, sir?
Internationally, of course, Sadat got the Nobel Prize. What can I say more than that? He became a Nobel Prize. That's yes, a legend, and all the Newsweek, Washington Post, all the newspapers, he was trending the like
Cover of the magazine.
yes, all the covers.
Sir, what were the key terms of the Egyptian-Israeli peace treaty in 1979, and that allowed Egypt to regain control over the Sinai Peninsula? And what were the stages of the Sinai's return to Egyptian governors?
I said before, 4 stages. The first stage A, to have one infantry division without rockets or long-term artillery. And the second B is border guards, and G is only police, and D without non-demilitarized area, without weapons.
Sir, what security measures were put in place to ensure stability and peace in the Sinai Peninsula following its return to Egypt, and how have these measures evolved?
First of all, Sinai was desert. Only very few tribes who are gathered around wells, subterranean water wells, that's it. And it had two roads on the north and one in the middle, only two roads to connect Egypt with its territory, which is 1/4 of the whole space of Egypt. And this was very strange, very strange. All the Egyptians are dwelled around the Nile, and Sinai is empty. While since the pharaohs, we are till now working for the minerals and the pearls and the jade and everything according to the Pharaoh's maps of the wealth in Sinai. Now it has uh, renewed all the hospitals, all roads are connected, cities were built, hospitals were maintained and built, about 64 hospitals around all Sinai. Sinai in Sharm el-Sheikh and Nuweiba and Dahab and Taba is the best places, and I'll tell you a secret. In Ras Gamila, it will be after Ras Al Hikmah, will be dwelled by Swedish people, will dwell there because they have ice all the year. They will wear bikinis and swimming shorts all the year there. So the whole Europe will move into Sinai. After Ras Al Hikmah will be Ras Gamila and so on. That's not a secret. And it has international touristic merit. It has strategic side of Egypt to rebuild that land which is on the edge of our eternal enemy, and to use all those potentials. And peninsula of Sinai is the most famous in the middle of the world. Exactly, in the middle of the world, surrounded by the Mediterranean in the north and the Gulf Sea and Suez Gulf and the Red Sea, two main most beautiful seas in the whole world, the Mediterranean and the Red Sea. And the merit to the Italians, as I was studying in Italy, I'm a graduate, sono graduato della Scuola Militare Alpina. I'm a graduate of the commando school in Italy. The Italians consider the first home after their home is Egypt. Since the marriage, yes, everywhere, and Aswan and the Red Sea is since the marriage of Julius Caesar and Cleopatra. And after 7 years, and they had Kaisaron, the son. After 7 years, Mark Antony married her and have 3 kids. And then Marcus Octavius, he was the nephew of Julius Caesar. He bred up Caesarion, the son of Cleopatra and Julius Caesar, as the ruler of Rome. When I was in Italy, when the Italians would like to mock me or arouse me or to make comedy with me, they used to call me the son of Caesarion, who ruled Rome for 17 years. He was the Marcus Octavius was the co-regent to the Egyptian boy who ruled Rome.
Sir, how has the return of the Sinai Peninsula impact Egypt's economy and society?
Of course, because we used to have 10 million, now they are about 17 million tourists, and we are working to build hotels and that stuff for night rooms and that stuff. It will be 20 million, and this is after the revenues of tourism, after comes before the revenues of Suez Canal and the transformations from the Gulf, Egyptians working.
And of course, dear guest Major General Dr. Ahmed Seliha, at the end of today's interview. We're honored, of course, to have you today. We're honored, of course, to always have a person or a military soldier that represented Egypt on this victorious day, that was part of this victory. We thank you so much for your efforts at that time and today, sir. Thank you very much for being with us.
You're most welcome. Can I add a very little story? One of the martyrs, Captain Samir Bahieddin Arfan from Minya, when we went after 6 months of the war to restore the martyrs' bodies, I found him in the mountain. His face is smiling. All his teeth were because only smiling. There is no leather, but he's only smiling. And among his teeth, I found a paper. I kept about half an hour to take it off. I take off the paper and I found it. It has the cipher of the commandos. The cipher paper, according, he was eating the cipher paper lest it should be the Jews, the Israeli army, take it and recall other helicopters. We went by the helicopters, 125 helicopters, and 85 of them were bombed. The rest assaulted Israel and defeated Israel.
Thank you, Major General Ahmed Seliha, for being with us today. The viewers, stay tuned. I'll be back again. Don't go away.